Okay, so hello everyone. So our basically the today's topic is actually solution of the equation in two variable. Okay, so let me actually change my pen to a red pen. Yeah, so basically our today's topic is we want to find the solution of the equation in two variable. Okay, so basically over here we got some really important definition to let you guys actually know it before we doing any question. Okay, so first thing is that the equation in two variable is basically ax plus by equal to c, with both a and b is not equal to 0. Okay, so this is the normal format. This is the normal format. So you know this is a normal format. Okay, so whenever you're thinking about an equation in two variable, so you're thinking about ax plus by equal to c. This is original format for equation in two variable. Okay, and over here we say this equation is a linear equation. So remember, the meaning of a linear equation simply means the coefficient, the power of those variable is actually both of them are 1. Linear equation means they having those coefficients as 1, because everyone knows that, right? So linear equation is basically a linear equation is represent a line, right? Linear equation represent a line, right? So okay, linear equation represent a line. That's why we here those so here those variable have to be, the power of those variable have to be 1, and that represent a linear equation. Okay, and we also call this equation in the standard form. Okay, that's why I say before, right? I say this equation is actually the original form. So it is the standard form. Okay, it is the standard form, right? And the second thing what you guys need to know is that since we got two variable, okay, so we got two variable over here. We got variable x and then variable y. Those basically represent the x coordinate and the y coordinate. Okay, to give you guys an idea, since we know over here we got two variable. Excuse me. Okay. So since over here we got two variable, we got x coordinate and then y coordinate. So basically that means we have something like this. Okay, so we got something like this because we got two variable over here, so x and y. So it can be any point. It can be any point in this kind of graphic, and we have talking about this before, right? If you a little bit confused, maybe watching my previous video. Okay, so those are the information what we need to know in order to finding the solution of the equation in two variable. Okay, so let's move into the question part. So we basically got totally 6 questions. Okay, so here we have different kind of questions. So here the question over here is say we have to determine the order pair solution. The order pairs are solution for the given equation, and we got two questions for this, and we got another different question. So here what we got is we have to complete the order pair so that each of the solution for the given equation. Okay, we also got two problem over here, and the final two question over here is say we want to find 4 solutions of each equation. Okay, so those are the basically there are 3 type of question, and each type of question I have two to talking about. Okay. So if you feel like some of the question are really easy for you, feel free to actually to skip it. Okay, feel free to actually skip it. Otherwise, I will talking about all those questions in details to make sure everyone does understand it. Okay. Okay, so let's move into the first type of question. Okay, so it's not quite difficult as I say it. First thing, so here what we want to do is we want to determine those order pairs are in the solution or not. Okay, so to make it simple, it's like that. It basically we got those different kind of point, right? We got those different kind of point, and then we got an equation. So we want to determine are those point is actually a solution for this equation. Okay, so let me actually zoom in a little bit because I don't have much space over here. Okay, I think that's okay. So over here what we have is like we have an equation x plus y equal to 6, and then we got actually 4 points, right? And then we want to determine are those point is actually a solution, right? So basically the method to do it over here is just simply plugging the number. Okay, so remember we got x equal to 4 and then y equal to 2. So we have x plus y equal to 6. That means it's 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, right? And then it's 6 equal to 6. So of course this point will be a solution, will be a part of the solution of this equation. Makes sense, right? Okay, and let's move into the second one. The second one, maybe it's for me to better to actually write down the points. Okay, the second one, simple as that. You add it, and what we have is equal to 6. So you just basically copy x plus y and then you copy it down. Okay, and what we can see is that -2 plus 4 is actually 2. 2 is not equal to 6. So that means this point is not a solution for this equation. So it makes sense, right? So you try to compare it, like you try to so here we want to make sure after the addition the number is 6, but over here is not. So therefore it just cannot be a solution, right? Okay, so let's move into the next point. So the next point what we have is 0 and x equal to 0 and the y equal to 6, right? So what we have is 0 plus 6 equal to 6 and then 6 equal to 6, right? So that this point have to be included. This point is definitely a part of the solution, right? Okay, I mean so now on the last point. So the last point what we have is -3 and then 9, right? So x equal to -3, y is equal to 9, right? So obviously we just plug in those variable, right? So we plug in those variable equal to 6, and then -3 plus 9 is equal to 6. 6 equal to 6, right? Okay, so this point is actually in the equation, right? So okay, so that means this point is actually in the equation, right? Okay, so as I say, it's not quite difficult. The simplest way is you just plug in the number into the equation, and then if you get the same solution, then you definitely this point have to be included in the equation. Okay, so you know, like this is so let's just basically move into question 2. Okay, I think, you know, everyone does understand how to actually perform it. So maybe, you know, some people still don't understand. Okay, so let's doing this process and repeat it again. Okay, as you can see over here, you know, this equation is actually more complex than the first one, right? But the method will be the same thing. Okay, the method will be the same thing. We got 4 points over here, and then let's start with negative 4 and then 0 as the first point. As I say, x equal to -4, y equal to 0, right? Okay, so now we plug in the point. We got 3 multiplied by -4 and then plus 4 multiplied by 0, right? And then we just copy it down. We copy it down equal to 12. And then, you know, the 3 multiplied by -4 is actually -12. -12 plus 4 multiplied by 0 is 0, equal to 12. -12 equal to 12. So you see, you know, it doesn't match it, right? It doesn't match it. So you know this point just cannot be in the solution, you know, in this equation. Okay, and let's have a test about the second point. Okay, let's get a test about the second point. The second point, what we have is 2 over 3 and 5 over 2. Okay, as I say, x equal to 2 over 3, y equal to 5 over 2, right? So obviously, you know, you have to plug in to test it, right? So we plug in the x and the y. So we have 3 multiply 3 over 2. Okay, and then we have a positive plus x, we plus 4 multiply 5 over 2 equal to 12, right? One thing I will say about the previous part is, you know, you should just say, you know, okay, sorry, the previous part should be like, you know, -12 not equal to 12. Okay, you know, after that you can actually change the sign. Okay, -12 not equal to 12. Sorry about that. So let's go back and focus on this part. Okay, let's go back and focus on this part. So here we have 3 and 3 get cancelled, right? And then we have a 2 plus, and then over here 2 get cancelled, and then 4 become 2, and then what we have is 2 multiplied by 5, right? And then equal to 12. And then what we have is basically the 2, well, let me move into the other part. Okay, 2 plus 2 multiplied by 5 is equal to 10. 10 equal to 12. And then finally what we get is 12 equal to 12. Right? Okay, so now you can see the number does match it, right? So the number does match it. So that means this point have to be included in the equation. Okay, this point have to be included in the equation. Okay, so let's move into the third point, which is 0 and 3. Okay, x equal to 0, y equal to 3. Okay, so now we basically plug in the point, right? So we have 3 multiplied by 0, and then we have a plus 4 multiplied by 3 is equal to 12, right? So here 3 multiplied by 0 is 0. 0 plus 4 multiplied by 3 is equal to 12. So we got 12 equal to 12. So now you see the number does match it. So obviously you know that like this point have to be included in the equation, right? So this point have to be included in the equation. Okay. Okay, let's move into this part like this. So now we are on our last point, 2 over 3 and then the 2, right? Oh, there's a problem with my pen. Okay, so we have x equal to 2 over 3, y equal to 2, right? Okay, so you know, I think up of this point you should know how to do it. Okay, so basically over here is just simply plugging the number, right? So we have 3 multiplied by 3 over 2 and then plus 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 12, right? Okay, let me check again. 3 multiplied by 2 over 3 and then plus 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 12. 3 and 3 get cancelled, it becomes 2 and then 4 plus 2 is equal to 8 equal to 12. 2 plus 8 equal to 10, which is not equal to 12, right? 10 is not equal to 12, so the number doesn't match it. So that means this point is not included in the equation. Okay, so this point is actually not included in the equation. Okay. Okay, so now let's moving to the other kind of question. Okay, so over here the other kind of question, what we want to do is that let me actually one second, let me actually show let me show everything. Okay, so over here what we want to do is that we want to complete the order pairs, so that each solution for it is in the given equation. Okay, so you can see we got the equation over here and then we got those points, but some of the variable x and y are missing, right? It's actually missing. So what you want to do is that we want to finding the missing variable, and we want to finding the missing variable so that each order pair is a part of the solution for the given equation. Okay. So basically you guys should so basically over here the technique over here is that you plug in the variable what you know it. Okay, so basically technique over here is you basically plug in the variable what you know it. Okay, so let's first focus on the variable of this one. Okay, so for this one we don't know what is x, but we know y is equal to 0, right? So for the first point we don't know we don't know anything about what is x, but we know the value we know y is equal to 0. So basically what you have to do is you just simply plug in the variable of y. Okay, so we have 3x minus 2 multiplied by 0, right? Multiplied by 0 is equal to 12, right? And then right, so basically 3x minus 2 multiplied by 0. 2 multiplied by 0 is 0, so it just simply becomes 3x. 3x equal to 12, and then x is equal to 4, right? So x is equal to 4. So the first point will be 4, 0, right? So the first point will be 4, 0. Okay, so basically as I said before, you just basically plug in the variable the variable where you know it, because this we only got 2 variables, and as long as you know variables, as long as you know one variable, then you are able to solve for the other. Okay, so let's move into the second point. The second point, we don't know anything about x but we know y is actually equal to negative 6, right? So we know y is negative 6, so we plug in the variable 3x minus 2 and then multiply by y over here, y over here is actually negative 6 equal to 12. Okay, y over here is negative 6 equal to 12, and then what we got is 3x, and then we have a plus 12 equal to 12, right? Okay, and 12 and 12 both get cancelled. This part becomes 0. 3x is equal to 0, so x is just basically equal to 0, right? So you find the x is gonna be 0, so basically now we find the second point, right? So now we find the second point. Okay, x equal to 0. Okay, so for now let's focus on the third point. So you can see over here the third point, we know x is actually let me actually rewrite it, sorry. So on the third point, you find x, we know x is actually equal to 2, but we don't know what is y, right? So you plug in the x, okay? So 3 multiplied by 2 minus 2y is equal to 12, right? 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. 6 minus 2y is equal to 12. We got negative 2y, and then we move the 6 to the other side. 12 minus 6, which is equal to 6, y is just equal to negative 3, right? Okay. Yeah, okay, so y is just equal to negative 3, so you find the y coordinate represent to the equation is negative 3. Okay, so 2, and so this point 2 negative 3 will be a part of the solution for this equation. Okay, I think we are kind of like out of space, so okay, so let's can we actually find some space over here? Okay, I think I would just basically, because I was trying to cover everything in one page, so I think I would just put something over here. Okay, so on our last point, we don't know anything about x, but we know y is actually equal to 3, right? So we know y is actually equal to 3. So you guys, I think you guys get to understand how to actually do it, right? So you basically plug in the point where you know it. 3x minus 2 and then multiply by multiply by 3 is equal to 12. Okay, 3x, so now we basically solving for x. 3x minus 6 is equal to 12. 3x is equal to 18, right? 12 plus 6 is equal to 18. X is basically equal to 6, right? X is basically equal to 6. Okay, so now you find the final point is actually 6, 3. Okay, so basically is that as long as you actually know one of the variables, then you are able to solving for the other, and that's basically what we have. Done over here in order to actually find the order pairs. The order pairs is actually a part. So that's how we actually find the order pairs is actually a part of the solution of the given equation. Okay. So Okay, so let's move into the second one. Okay, let's actually move into the second one. I think so. Of course, I think on the first example, I already really well explained how we actually solving those questions really how we actually solving those questions. So over here, I just want to show you how you actually doing those questions really fast. Okay. Okay. So I'm not gonna show many details because over in the previous one I think I have shown all the details. Okay, so over for this one I'm just gonna show how you actually doing those questions really fast. Okay, so we got an equation over here, right, and then we got 4 points, right? So we're basically getting those 4 points, and then we want to find the one which is unknown, right? And then to make those solution as make those points as a part of the solution of this equation, right? So let's first start with the first point. We got 0, and then we don't know what is y. We know x equal to 0, right? So we plug into the point. We have 3 multiplied by 0, and then plus 4y equal to 12. 3 multiplied by 0 is 0, right? And you can see y is basically equal to 3 over here, right? 4y equal to 12, y equal to 12 multiplied by 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3. So you find y equal to 3. Okay, you find y equals to 3, and that's the first point. And let's focus on the second point. The second point, we don't know anything about x, but we know y is actually equal to 3 over 4, right? So you plug in the point, 4x plus 4 multiplied by 3 over 4 is equal to 12, right? 4 and 4 get cancelled. 3x plus 3 is equal to 12, right? 3x is basically equal to 9. X equal to 3, okay? X is actually equal to 3, yes. So now you're finding the point for the now you find the point, right? So now you basically find a point. Okay. Let me actually write down everything. Yeah. Okay. So now let's focus on the third point. The third point, we don't know anything about x, but we know y is actually equal to 0, right? So y is actually equal to 0. So you basically plug in. Okay. So 3x plus 3x plus 4 multiplied by 0 is actually equal to 12. 4 multiplied by 0 is equal to 0, so x is just basically equal to 4, because 3x equal to 12, x equal to 12 divided by 3, so it's actually 4, right? So we find the variable for x is equal to 4, and we find a point, right? So now we find a point. Okay. So let's actually solving for the last point. The last point what we have is we know x is actually 8 over 3, and then we don't know anything about y, right? So obviously you know that we have to plug into the point. 3 multiplied by 8 over 3, and then plus 4y equal to 12. 3 and 3 get cancelled. 8 plus 4y equal to 12. 4y is actually equal to 4. Y is equal to 1. Okay, y is actually equal to 1. So now we actually finding all the value. Now we have find all the points, right? So we finding all the points by plugging one of the known variable in to find the unknown variable, right? Okay. So this is basically kind of like a method. Okay, so the reason why you have to plug in into the equation is as long as you plug in the variable into the equation, it has to be a point into the equation, right? Okay, that's the main thing. That's why you plug in the one known into the equation, because as long as you plug into the right equation, so you will always finding that point into that equation. Okay, so let's move into the last kind of question. Okay, the last kind of question over here is that we want to find 4 solutions of each equation. Okay, so we want to find 4 solutions for each equation. Okay, so excuse me. So basically, we want to find 4 solutions. So I just want to say there's actually no restriction to actually how you actually finding those points. Okay, so it's as though there's actually no restriction. There's no restriction. Okay, but I want the fastest way to actually finding 4 points is okay. So here I just want to talking about how you actually finding those points really fast without wasting any time. Okay, but there are actually two points I recommend for you to always write it down. Okay, so we want to find point, and then and there are basically 2 points you have to write it down, because those 2 points are the easiest point. Are basically the easy point for you to actually find it. Okay. Okay. Now let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. So here, the first 2 points. Let me think about it. Okay. So, as I said before, there are actually 2 points are the most easy point. Most easy point for you to actually find it really fast. Okay, so let me actually write it down. Like for the first point, and suppose we have a first point over here, we have a second point. Okay, 1 second. Let me actually using my eraser. Okay, I think it's something like this. I guess the first point and the second point and the third point and the first point. So over those 2. Let me put in a remainder over here. Most easy point. Most easy point to find. Always included. Okay, so basically, the only thing I want to say is that there are basically 2 points are the most easy point for you to actually find it. So you always want to include it, and for the third point and the fourth point, you can basically do whatever you want it. Okay, so let's talking about the first 2 points first. Okay, let's talking about the first point and the second point first. Okay, so the most easy one is that so the point or so the most easy point is basically you just basically letting x equal to 0. Okay, you can see over here, if you plug in x equal to 0, then the only thing is -5, right? So y is actually -5, right? So that's why I say it's really easy, because you can actually see it while you actually plug in. And the second point is obviously you set up the y equal to 0. Okay, the first point basically the first point is actually let me actually talking about some of the detail of it. Okay, So the first point is actually the y-intercept. Okay, the y-intercept, and how you actually find the y-intercept is you just let x equal to 0. Okay, it's as simple as that. We're talking about this before, right? Everyone remember it, right? Okay. Okay, so this is the y-intercept. So let you just basically let the x equal to 0, and as you can see, if you let the x equal to 0, the only thing left is -5. Y equal to -5, and you can see this point right away, right? And the second point over here is actually the x-intercept. Okay, the x-intercept is basically you let y equal to 0. Okay, so here if we letting y equal to 0, so we have ax minus 5 equal to 0, ax equal to okay, let me actually rewrite it. It's kind of like a mess. 5 ax equal to 5, and then you find x is actually equal to 5 over 8, right? So it's also quite easy to actually find it. So the first two points I would recommend for you to actually just basically write it down the y-intercept and the x-intercept. Okay, those 2 points are really recommend for you to actually to just write it down, because it's quite easy, right? Because you just basically setting x equal to 0 and then y equal to 0 in order to finding those points, right? In order to actually finding those points, right? Okay. So now let's talking about the third point and the fourth point. So as I said before, for the third point and for the fourth point, you can do whatever you can find any point where you want it. Okay, what I mean by that is that you can basically suppose over here we plug in x equal to 1. Okay, and you can see y is actually equal to 8 minus 5, which is 3, right? So you know the point 1 3 will be a point, right? Will be a solution, right? Will be actually a solution, right? And so let's talking about the fourth point. Okay, suppose over here we plug in x equal to 2, right? We plug in x equal to 2. Y is basically equal to okay, y is actually equal to 2 multiplied by 8 is actually 16. 16 minus 5 is actually equal to 11, right? So you know the point 2, 11 will also be part of the solution, right? So will also be a part of the solution. So actually, for the choice of the third point and the fourth point, you can just plug in any number where you want it. Okay, or you can just basically plug in any number where you want it, because like you can also maybe plug in 4. Okay, also you can also plug in -1. Okay, so there are many possibilities, but as long as you plug in, because you want to find those number fast. So plugging x equal to 1, I mean, it's quite simple, right? You will find the point really fast, right? So make sure you plug in some small number, okay? Some small number, because big number, it will take some time to calculate, to do some calculation, right? But small number, if you plug in some small number, you will find the solution really fast, right? Okay. So let's move into the second question. Okay, the second question, again, we want to find 4 solutions for the second question. Okay, so this is the last question. So you guys just pause the video. Okay, I'll try to find 4 points as try to find 4 points by yourself. Okay, pause the video. Okay, so let's do the question together. Okay, so as always, I say before, it is recommended for you to actually find the x coordinate. Okay, so how you actually finding the x coordinate is just basically let y equal to 0, right? Y equal to 0. So you basically plug in the point 2x 7 multiplied by 0 equal to 14. 7 multiplied by 0 is just simply 0, right? X is just equal to 7, right? As if x is actually equal to 7. Okay. So now you're finding the first point, which is 7 0. That's the x coordinate, right? So that's the x coordinate. Okay. And as I said before, the second point is always much more easy for you to find the y coordinate, right? So y coordinate is basically let x equal to 0, right? So you plug in 2 multiplied by 0 and the plus 7y equal to 14, right? 2 multiplied by 0 is just simply equal to 0. Y is equal to 2, right? So now you're finding the y coordinate is basically 0, 2, right? The y coordinate is basically 0, 2. So now you're already finding 2 points. And for the third point and the fourth point, you can just basically plug in any number, right? You can basically plug in any number where you want it, right? Okay. So what about we plug in x equal to 1 first? We plug in x equal to 1. Okay. So we have 2 multiplied by 1 and then plus 7y equal to 14, right? 7y is actually equal to so 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. 14 minus 2 is actually 12, right? So y is equal to 12 over 7, right? Okay, and then we cannot cancel anything. We just cannot doing any cancellation, right? So there's a point. This point will be a part of the solution, right? This point will be a part of the solution. 12 over 7. So this point will be a part of the solution. Okay. So for the fourth point, you can just plug in any point, right? So what about we plug in, maybe negative 1? We plug in negative 1. If we plug in negative 1, then what we have is 2 multiplied by negative 1 and then plus 7y is equal to 14. 2 multiplied by negative 1 is negative 2. So if we move into the other side, it becomes 14 plus 2. So it becomes 7, becomes 16, right? Okay. 16, yeah. So y